With all but one game from Week 14 in the books, this proved to be a critical week in the NFL season, and there is a lot to take away from this week. Before I get started though, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first takeaway is the AFC runs through Baltimore. The Ravens went into Buffalo Sunday and beat the Bills and covered the 6-point spread, while New England lost to the Chiefs at home. New England is now 0-3 on the year against the division leaders, and with their most impressive win being against Buffalo, I don't see any way they go to the Super Bowl this year unless they get a ton of help. Baltimore is as hot as a team can be, and Lamar threw for 3 more touchdowns to only boost his MVP campaign. Their defense has allowed just 136 points over the 9-game winning streak, which equates to 15 per game. And with a quarterback like Lamar, asking him to only get 15 per game is light work, as during this streak, they've put up 40 or more 3 times and did that in 3 consecutive weeks. They play the Jets on Thursday night and should put on a show for America to watch and give a glimpse to the rest of the AFC of what M&T Bank Stadium will look like during a primetime game. The next takeaway is the 5th-seeded wildcard NFC team will go to the divisional round. With the Eagles playing Monday night as the only chance to dethrone the Cowboys, they may host a wildcard round playoff game. This division, often referred to as the NFC least, is underwhelming at best. The Cowboys are 6-7 and have not beat a team with a winning record, while the Eagles have a lot of problems themselves. Whether the 5th seed is the 49ers, Seahawks, Vikings, or Packers, I can't imagine any of these teams not being able to go into Philly or Dallas and win in the wildcard round. The Packers did lose to Philly earlier in the year, but have went 7-2 since. The Cowboys did not look good Thursday night, and although the final score was 31-24, the Bears were never not in control of this game after they took the lead. There will be a battle for the 5th seed, and whichever fortunate team gets that seed will advance to the divisional round of the playoffs. The next takeaway is the 49ers proved they can win away from home in a very hostile environment. The 49ers have looked very good in 2019, and especially at home. Their only loss at home was to Seattle in one of the best games of the year. They thumped both the Browns and Packers on primetime TV, with the scores being 31-3 and 37-8. However, their only solid road win was against a then-struggling Rams team, and some of their other road wins were at Cincy, at the Redskins, and at the Bucks. On Sunday, though, they beat the Saints in their stadium, and while the defense let them down, they proved they could win a shootout-style game if they need to. The defense in 12 games leading up to this one had allowed just 15 points per game, and that's without a doubt a winning formula. They had a signature win Sunday, and are going to be an extremely tough out in the playoffs. They also proved it is possible to go into New Orleans and win what was essentially a playoff game anyway. The next takeaway is the Titans have to roll with Ryan Tannehill in 2020. Since naming Ryan Tannehill the starting quarterback in Week 7, the Titans have scored the second most points per game in that span with over 31 per game. They are an 8-5 team, and Ryan Tannehill is playing the best football of his career. Whether or not this is a couple of game fluke, we'll know in a few years, but the Titans will have a very tough decision to make this offseason. At this point, if Tannehill keeps it up, they have no choice but to pay him, as Marcus Mariota was certainly not getting the job done in any way, shape, or form. A.J. Brown's future is also looking good, as he has 2 130-plus yard receiving games in the past 3. I like A.J. and want him to do well as a Titan and ultimately as an NFL player. Lastly, Derrick Henry should receive at least a $12 million per year contract, if not more. He is an animal, and the Titans may have found their quarterback, running back, and #1 receiver for the next few years. The final takeaway for today's video is Devlin Hodges is the heir to Ben's throne. Duck Hodges is now 3-0 as a starter for the Steelers and has been up and down to say the least. However, he is getting the wins, and that is all that matters in the NFL. He has been less turnover prone than Mason Rudolph and has kept the Steelers' playoff chances alive. Duck's passer rating compared to Mason's is 103-80, and with a defense as dominant as the Steelers is, they just need him to not lose games. One would also have to think this is the worst Hodges will play in his career, as he is still getting accustomed to the NFL, and it can only go up from here, so that's definitely a positive for the Steelers. Whether or not Ben returns next season as the starter, and I would like to think he does, the Steelers look to have the answer and the heir to Ben's throne. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, thank you for watching, and have a great day. Skol Bikes.